Hello, my name is Amos, and this is a review and comparison of my 2018 Honda Goldwing and my 2015 Honda Goldwing Tour. This 2018 Honda Goldwing Tour is a manual transmission, and this 2015 Honda Goldwing is also a manual transmission. It's the basic model or the basic basic package, I guess you could say. As far as didn't have any nav or anything like that. No ABS, no nav, no airbag. This one does not have an airbag. It's just the regular Honda Goldwing Tour 2018. Currently, this one over here, the 2015, has 18,320 miles. This one, the 2018 Honda Goldwing Tour, has 370 miles. Okay, now, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start them up and let you hear and compare how they sound. First, the 2015. That was the 2015 Honda Goldwing. And now the 2018 Honda Goldwing Tour manual transmission. That's that. So, as you probably could hear, the 2018 has more grunt in the sound and the exhaust. That one over there is a little more quiet, a little more sedate, the 2015. Beyond that, they both have very smooth engines. The 2018 is a totally different engine from the 2015. This is a 4-valve per cylinder, 6-cylinder, flat 6, right? That is 1,833 cc's. The 2015 is a 2-valve per cylinder, 6-cylinder, flat 6, and it's 1,832 cc's. So, very similar engines. They make power very similarly, but they are somewhat different. Obviously, that one's probably more efficient, more up to date. So anyway, comparing the two bikes, this one is obviously, just by looking at it, quite a bit wider. This one is much more narrow. So, how that affects the riding of it is, I can tell you just from riding this one the other day in 40 something degree weather, the 2015 has a lot more wind protection. The windscreen is a lot wider. There's not as much air hitting the hands. I do not have any wind deflectors on this bike at all. However, I'm probably going to get some wind deflectors put on this bike because I think they would look a lot, it would look better. The ones I saw were Periac and they really look nice. They go with the bike very well. They almost look like they were designed for the bike, or should I say OEM parts. But of course, that would help also with the deflector, would help with the wind management and keep a lot of the wind off of my hands. Both of the bikes are very smooth bikes with a lot of power. They're very big bikes, although the 2015 is about 900 pounds and this one is about 833 pounds. This one obviously feels a lot more nimble, a lot lighter, but both of these bikes, neither one of these bikes feel particularly heavy because of the way the weight is distributed. One thing is both engines are very low to the ground. The other thing is both bikes, the gas tank is actually underneath the seat. So it keeps the weight of the bike low. It has a low center of gravity. So when you pick it up off the side stand, it doesn't feel as heavy. And of course, once you get to rolling down the road, they both feel quite light and quite nimble. Although this one is especially, the 2018 is especially more agile and more nimble and quicker, definitely quicker. And that's because the 2018, it has different rider modes, and sport mode is just ridiculous. Sport mode is something I don't really need to be in. I usually keep it in eco mode because I want to save money on gas. The only mode that really has a lot of power and a lot of torque really is the sport mode. Anyway, beyond that, I haven't ridden this one obviously very much. It only has 370 miles on it. I've done a couple of errands with it here and there, but nothing where I could really give you a detailed long range review. I will tell you that I enjoyed riding it though because of the tech. I'm a techie. I like technology. I'm not tech savvy, but I do like technology. So I like this one, 2018, because it has GPS, it has Bluetooth, it has everything you could possibly want on a motorcycle as far as technology. The electronic windscreen is very, very nice to have because you can raise it and lower it depending on your needs, how much air you want, and that's always a nice thing. This one, you have to manually lift up the windshield, and sometimes it's easier and sometimes it's not as easy. But you just lift those levers up, pull it up like that, and it usually is easier than that. And then you just push it back down when you want it down. So you pull it up, you push it down, and like you can see, it doesn't always go up and down as easy as you want. And then you just lock it in place with these levers on either side of these front speakers. Okay, that one is a lot easier. You can do it with the flip of a switch, and that's much more desirable. This one, I had the CB added. Obviously, this one is this is the bike that I would take if I were going on a long cross-country trip, because number one, I think it's probably much more comfortable. It has better wind protection. It has a CB installed. That was a $700 ad. That one doesn't have a CB added. I may add it later. I'm still thinking about it. It's $700, so we'll see. AM/FM radio. I had this like Bluetooth. Of course, I have XM radio on my phone, so I can always listen to XM on this radio, motorcycle, Pandora, etc. This one has, I didn't mention this in my other video, but it has Apple CarPlay, which I love. So I can go Pandora and other apps on there, Waze apps, Google Maps. I can also use Honda's GPS, which is probably not that great. This one, I would have to use my phone. I can Bluetooth it, I can hear it, but it's not integrated into the bike. But because I have Bluetooth, it's not a big problem on this bike. Things I've added to the bike. I'm gonna go one at a time and tell you what I've added to each bike. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the camera around and show you. Maybe I'll grab my little trusty light, help you see a little bit better. Okay, so this one up front, as you can see, I added the Kiriakin fork brace for extra stability. Of course, I added it in black, which I will make this point as I continue. All of the accessories that I added to this bike, they were black. They were either painted black or bought black because I wanted the bike to be different from the other bikes that I saw. You know, there's hundreds, if not thousands, of Goldwings on the road. And what I wanted to do is have a bike that looked different from everybody else's. And most people like to put chrome on their motorcycles. And because this bike was black and black and red, I decided to add the black accessories to go with the black on the bike, plus just stand out differently from the other riders who had Goldwings. Moving on back to the mirrors, I added these sequential turn and running lights. I don't remember the name of those lights. I'll give that name to you here in a minute, but I really like those. They look a lot different. They look a lot more modern than the OEM yellow or amber, I should say, turn signal lenses. Also, I changed out the headlights all LEDs. At the bottom, you see same company that made these turn signal / fog lights down in the lower cowls. Kiriakin made those Ergo 3 highway pegs. I really like those because they flip up when you don't have your foot on them, like that. And of course they fold up when you're not using them or when you're parked. I added the floorboards and the brake pedal from Kiriakin. Added this driver floorboard and the flip up for the foot peg for the passenger floorboard. I said driver, I think. I added this Kiriakin luggage rack that was a sequential turn signal and running light. I added this accent piece right there. It was chrome. I had to paint it black. And I'll turn the lights on here shortly, but the license plate frame is lighted with turn signal and running lights. Then you have the rear fender light at the bottom and the saddlebag lights, accent lights in the back, and those are all Kiriakin. Also, the side lights, saddlebag lights on the side. I also added those flag poles and the flags, of course. Going back toward the front, I forgot to mention that I added these Kiriakin hand grips with the wrist buster. I added this cubby, a Kiriakin cubby cup holder. This Zero phone holder. I thought it was probably, I had a RAM mount on here, but this is much better. It makes me feel much more comfortable having this on there versus the RAM. This one is a lot more sturdier, or it gives me more confidence that my phone won't fall out, with the RAM. And then it was also, the RAM made it hard for me to reach the buttons because the little rubber grommets that held the phone onto the X mount, they were covering over the buttons on the phone. So I also added Bluetooth to this motorcycle. In addition, and I'm going to turn the lights on now. In addition, and I'm going to turn the signals on and the fog lights. Okay, so I added Muth mirrors, turn signals. You can see I added these lights as well on the rear of the passenger armrest. Those were chrome. I had to paint those black. Coming to the rear, you can see the sequential turn signals slash flashers on the rear spoiler that I added. You can see the lights, the turn signals slash flashers on the license plate frame. And of course on the side, you can see the saddlebag accent light. Going around to the front, don't think I missed anything. Going toward the front, as you can see the LEDs, also the turn signals at the bottom, and those are also, sorry, not turn signals, well, they are turn signals, they're turning, running lights, but they're also fog lights. Last thing that I think I hope I haven't forgotten anything is I added some lights. I went to Wingding, the last Wingding, which was in Nashville. Added these lights, and what I love about these lights is the placement, obviously, and the way they make the bike look at night. Plus, a lot of visibility, as you can see, the light shining on the ground, on the side, inside there, and when you hit the brake, they automatically turn red and stay red until you release the brake. In addition, even when the lights aren't on, when you hit the brake, they come on and red until you release the brake handle or the brake lever, the brake pedal or the brake lever. So let me turn that off. Now, I think I just basically listed everything that I added to this bike. So we're gonna move over to the 2018. So what I added to this bike is from the front, I'll go with the fender tip that was chrome. Now I mentioned that on that bike, I only added black accessories. On this one, I only added chrome accessories. And the reason being that I didn't want to have two bikes with the same color accessories. So I'm trying to have a different experience, a different aesthetic look on each bike. They're both Goldwings, but obviously they're different, and so I wanted them to be different. So moving right along, on the top of the front fender is an eagle. That's from Show Chrome. I think the front tip is from Show Chrome as well. The vent for the front fender, chrome accent, that is a piece from Gold Stripe. In addition, the rotor covers and the brake caliper covers and the fork covers are all Gold Stripe. In addition to that, the side light, and let me turn this on real quick. Okay, the lights on the side of the engine are also Gold Stripe. All of the chrome on the engine covers, there's frame guards, the engine guards, the saddlebag guards, the uh, passenger floorboards. All those are Gold Strike pieces that were added to the bike. In addition, these adjustable uh, highway pegs are also Gold Strike. I also added chrome accents to the mounting brackets for the front windshield. Moving to the side, you can see what it looks like on the right side of the bike. Going back to the rear, I added lights to the rear of the saddlebags. I added this Kuryakin luggage rack. I added these Gold Strike trunk accent light, and these are sequential turn signals as well. Those lights in between the saddlebags and the license plate, I added those, and those are turn signals as well. Those are turn, running, and turnings and brake, I do believe. Let me, it's hard for me to check, but anyway, on top of that, the license plate light, I put the cover, a chrome cover on that. That's from Gold Strike as well. This light right here, was a reflector. I had that replaced with a light. And I think that's pretty much it. The only other thing is I added these two pieces here. These pieces are from Ciro, who's also the parent company of Gold Strike, and this is the same holder as I had on that one. This one is actually the one I bought first, and then I bought that one once I got this one and realized how nice it was. So I replaced once I got this one and I saw how nice it was, I replaced the other one, which had the ram mount. This will accommodate a large Yeti type 32-ounce cup holder. So that's really, I thought, came in handy. I think that will conclude the tour and the comparison of the two motorcycles. I hope you enjoyed them. I'm gonna go ahead and, for the last thing is that you see how the lights look when they're blinking. And you will obviously assume, for the sake of assumption, that this is what they look like when they're on turn signal. This is on the flashers, but they look essentially the same. One side of the bike versus the other side. And if you go look from the back, you see amber light inside of the light between the saddlebags and the license plate, and then you see the sequential light on the trunk, and of course that's the regular turn signal. And the only other thing is, you can see from, I don't know if I could set this right here for a second and hit the brake and see what happens. You see that brake light modulator, and I can have that on both bikes, and that's important because it helps people to see you when you are trying to hit your brakes, and you don't want them to run into you. So anyway, hope you were able to see that. If there's any questions, anything like that, feel free to ask questions. I'm not a big YouTuber, so I really don't care if you like or subscribe. It'd be great if you do, but I'm actually looking for comments and questions that you might have regarding both motorcycles. Thank you for watching, and you have a wonderful holiday season.